Well, good morning, guys. Today is my last full day in Darwin, and I wanted to take another thing off my bucket list, and that is to see saltwater crocs, and not only see saltwater crocs, but see them jumping out of the water in an excursion. So here in a few hours, I'm going to be renting a car again. I thought I was going to be done, with renting a car, but they don't pick up anybody from town, and they're an hour south of Darwin. So I'm going to have to rent a car to get down there. So I'm going to rent the same vehicle, make and model, that I did from Sydney up to Cairns, and that way I get that same familiarity with driving, and we'll pick it up from the airport and drive down there, and then I'll use that vehicle to carry my luggage back to the airport tomorrow when we fly out to Singapore. So today will be a great day, hopefully. And so we'll bring you along and hopefully get some great video of some Crocs eating their meals off the boat.
Environment, so if they get a lot of food, they can grow about 30 centimetres a year. Those first 4 or 5 months. But yeah, this is a little crocodile we call Countdown. Now, it only got its nickname the other day because we discovered that it had a huge chunk of its tail missing. Another crocodile had bitten it off, and so we're just thinking, so watch for that head to lift up. Once it lifts its head up to look at the meat, that's when you know you're going to be ready with your video, because the jump will follow soon after. Just drop the body and then use the tail. So yeah, we do have freshwater crocodiles in this river as well, but we generally don't see any in our section. I haven't seen one. I've been working here for over 12 months and haven't seen one freshing. Some of the longer term guides have seen them, but very, very rarely. You'll find them further up the river and in smaller tributaries, because they're a lot smaller species and they'll be vulnerable to predation by the bigger salties. So they seem to stay away from this section. But yeah, these estuarine crocodiles, they're actually more accurately described as the Indo-Pacific crocodile, because they're that widespread. You'll find these crocs all the way from the east coast of India down through Southeast Asia, Papua New Guinea, Pacific Islands, and here in North Australia. They're extremely wide-ranging. Obviously different geographical populations, but they have actually found crocs from Indonesia have made it to the Darwin harbour, because they've done DNA tests. They've done some of the tested over there, and they worked out that they'd actually come all the way from Indonesia. Roger here is about 4 metres long, and so he's twice the size of that last crocodile we looked at, and he'd be about 450 kilos. And he's what we call a rogue male. They get too hot as well. It's in the build-up right now. It's very warm temperatures, and the crocodiles feel it as well. Their ideal running temperatures between 28 and 34 degrees, and they can achieve 34 degrees in the water. That's the water temperature right now. So if anything, they're trying to cool down. That's why she's going up there in the shade of that little tunnel. She's got some mud over her head. And also the mud helps with the march flies. We've got a lot of march flies this time of year, and they do annoy the crocodiles. They're fighting flies, they really do annoy them. And that's another strategy they use so that the flies can't bite it. They put a heap of mud in it. Now that's a good sign there, guys. Get ready to jump. They've all got their own personality. Some jump straight away, others take ages. They've all got the ability to do it. Some are just more reluctant than others, and some try and snatch it. So your Candy's looking for potential nest sites right now. She'll be ready to lay her clutch of eggs with the onset of the monsoon rains. That's the trigger for the girls to lay their eggs. On average, it's a clutch size of 50 eggs. So there's mating going on right now, and the nesting will start as soon as we get those rains, and it will continue on right throughout the wet season up to March, April. interesting. We have seen a couple of hatchling crocodiles that we believe might have been from the last wet. They probably only hatched in maybe April, May, because they're still only about, say, big about 40 to 45 centimetres, so they're possibly from last season's batch. We didn't have a very good year last year because we had a flood event, so a lot of the eggs were washed away by the flood. So very few made it. Only 30% of nest was on into the year. And once the crocodiles actually hatch from the eggshell, only 1% of those hatchlings will make it through to 2 metres in size. 1 in 100. Really high mortality rates because everything on the river here will eat it. From birds of prey to large fish, bull sharks, other crocodiles, even terrestrial predators like a jingo might grab a little hatchling on the bank, you know. We've got all sorts of predators. Just thinking about it. Here we go. It's right up now. Yeah, so she's about 2.8 metres. She'd be around 80 to 90 kilos, and that's pretty much maximum size for the girls. They have been found as big as 3.5 metres, but that's very unusual. The largest female we work with is Mama, which is 3.1 metres. And as I was saying, it's this time of year they are hard to find because they're all staying submerged. It's not just the heat; it's the march flies as well. It's just the way it is. It's a bit more difficult. They are cold-blooded, or ectothermic, so they rely on their environment to regulate their body temperature. And in the dry season, when it's a bit cooler, you will see a lot of the crocodiles out on the mud banks basking because they're trying to get warmer. It's a bit colder. This time of year they're less visible, but they're very active. Everything from insects to lizards to small marsupials are coming out of that grass. So it's a real smorgasbord for them. And they've taken it a step further. They can actually pick up a burning stick and then drop that into a new area of bush to create more bushfires to create more food opportunities.
That was it, guys. I think it could have been better. It's a 1 hour excursion, and it's about 55 to 60 minutes south of town. I got to see a few crocs jump out of the water, but the ones that were jumping out were not the huge ones that you always see on TV. So either it's just too hot. It's 40 degrees, 39 degrees Celsius right now. So it's very close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So maybe that's the reason why the Crocs are not showing up, or they just don't exist in this part of the river. So I'm going to be heading back, and of course tomorrow is Singapore, so I am going to spend tonight repacking everything, making sure I got the lightest amount of luggage. I've been using up all the stuff that I've stored in the suitcases, so hopefully this time it'll be a little bit cheaper, but $400 extra to fly to Singapore, and an extra $400 to fly to Cebu, and I'm sure another $400 to fly from Cebu to Dumaguete. So that's one of the things that I wasn't really thinking about when I packed everything, but when you're packing everything in your life and you're moving across the world, then you have to. So that's about it for the time being. See you on the next step.